guys, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great day. We are into the first week of June, so happy birthday once again to everybody that's celebrating a birthday this month. I hope you guys have a great birthday, anniversary, whatever it is you're celebrating. And then just to be celebrating every day, you know, that's a celebration and a blessing in itself. To wake up and have the right state of mind, have all your limbs working and able to get up and get about. That's a blessing in itself. So happy June, okay? All right, so you know, this month we got in a couple of weeks, we got Father's Day coming up. So people will be celebrating that for their fathers and those that have stepped into place and took their role of being a father, uncles, cousins, friends, you know, whoever that may be. And then also this month we have Juneteenth, and I think that falls around the same weekend as Father's Day. I think Juneteenth is on the 19th of June, and then Father's Day is what, the 18th, or yeah, the 18th or something like that. So I know a lot of people are going to be celebrating Juneteenth month. I've seen a lot of different posts on Facebook about, you know, the celebration of that. So yeah, if you're out celebrating that or getting ready to celebrate that, you know, have a good time, enjoy that. And anything that you do, just keep it positive and just make some great memories. Just keep it really positive. Let's see, I wanted to tell you guys about I went on a senior trip. You know, every so often I try to catch these different senior trips that the director plans at the senior center here. And she plans a mystery trip every year. It's usually around the end of May, going into, you know, June, the 1st of June. So I went on a mystery trip a few days ago, and she took us up to, our first stop was in Columbus, Tennessee, and that was the history part of our trip. She always tried to, you know, make it history and dealing with different cultures and, you know, stuff like that. And then of course she was, you know, we have time to shop and eat and do different things like that. So we went up to Columbus, Tennessee, to James Polk birthplace, well, his birth home where he grew up and everything. You know, he was the 11th president. So we went up there, real quaint type of town. It's not a very big town, but it was nice. Went there, you know, they have a museum set up in the home that his sister stayed in, and then right next to that home is the home his parents owned and where he grew up as a little boy. So we learned the history of James Polk. He was the 11th president, and you know, he, you know, went to Washington, served his 4 years. He had made a promise that he would only do one term, and there was definitely some things that he had to accomplish while he was in there, and he accomplished those things. And the biggest things was acquiring like Texas and Mexico and, you know, some of those regions to make them a part of the United States. So we talked about that, and for some reason, when I was watching a video on him, of course, his family and him owned slaves, but when he became the president, it was kind of like, you know, he kind of banned people talking to him or asking him questions about slaves. And, you know, they don't really put a whole lot in there about slaves, but they put a little, you know, just enough, because they don't be knowing who's coming to these different museums and who's going to be there. So I guess they have to, you know, include that, because that was a part of the history, you know. Back then in the 1800s, all the presidents owned slaves and had slaves on their plantations and taking care of their families and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we did that. So after that, we went into, I guess you consider it like the little downtown or the little town area where the little shops are at. And we, you know, did some shopping and walked this like a square. You know, we walked the square to the different little most of the shops to me was more like a vintage, you know, vintage type of look, and kind of between a vintage antique like store and a thrift store. I mean, it wasn't like thrift stores that's like, you know, just junk, but it was a lot of old antique store, and the way it was set up, there were, it really gave you the vibe of vintage stuff. I mean, it was nice. I mean, the only thing I bought from the store was some olive oil, some garlic olive oil. But it was very interesting to see some of the things. They had a lot of old antique stuff in there, so that was interesting. And once we did that, you know, walking the square and everything, it was hot as hell. It was hot out there. Then we went to this kind of like I guess like a southern barbecue cooking like restaurant. I mean, which was fine. It was a nice restaurant. Like I said, we had like the pulled chicken barbecue dinner or plate with the coleslaw and the baked beans. It was okay. I got a little pissed, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie, because you know, all our trips include our meals and everything. And Claire does a good job, our director. She does a good job finding really good places to eat and everything. But with it being such a big crowd, she usually just pick out the lunch or dinner or whatever we having to eat. So, you know, she picks out the, you know, usually we just have tea or water. You can get Coke too, but she keeps it try to keep it in order. So we had that, and I got pissed because when it got time for the dessert to come around, you know, it was about 40 of us, and by the time they got to our table for the dessert, of course, first they started out with cherry pie, blueberry pie, and peach cobbler. Well, all cobblers, blueberry cobbler, cherry cobbler, and peach cobbler. Of course, I want peach because I like peach cobbler. So by the time she got to our table, she was like, there is no more peach cobbler. So you got blueberry or cherry. Okay, cool. So then I was like, okay, I'll just go with blueberry. And she goes back and she's coming back, putting them desserts on the table. And then she gets to our table and she's like, well, all I have, she's actually directly talking to me. She's like, well, all we have is cherry left. You want cherry? And I was like, well, hell, I guess. I don't have a choice, do I? That's all you got. I was pissed because I really wanted to see what their peach cobbler tastes like. So I got the cherry and I did not like it. I took a little bite. I didn't like it. I didn't like the crust on it. The crust was too thick, kind of like a cake, but it wasn't sweet like a cake. So anyway, I didn't get my peach cobbler. So we left there, went on up further into Tennessee, and we went to a Amish community. And I think the little town was called Elkton, E-L-K-T-O-N, Elkton, Tennessee. And it was Amish. And, you know, we got off the bus onto the horse and buggy. Well, it was a horse in a wagon, a big old long wagon, a wagon big enough to carry 40 people with 2 horses pulling it. So they took us into the Amish community, and they had already told us the rules. You can't take any pictures of the Amish, period. They do not believe in pictures because they said something about pictures of the devil and all that. You know, they have their strong belief of what they believe in their way of living. So they took us into the community where the Amish live, and each house that they took us to in the community, they sold different things. They had like maple syrup, pickled beets, pickled pickles, pickled eggs, jelly, jam, all kind of jams and jelly, all kind of different woodwork, beautiful woodwork things. Oh my God, they had some beautiful woodwork things. They had this one big wood box. It was like it looked like a jewelry box. It was made out of pure pine. It was beautiful. They had this like wind thing that was made out of wood. It was beautiful. So then they made furniture. They made like lawn chairs and swings and all this stuff. And so we went around and jewelry. They had jewelry too. Went around to the different houses. Each house had a little stand set up where you could buy different things from it. Now, you know, they don't work as far as working and paying taxes. They don't pay any taxes. And they basically, you know, make their money off of their craft, you know, building different things, but, you know, and selling it to the community and stuff like that. And they raise all their vegetables and all that kind of stuff. And they showed us when we went to each one of their little houses, you know, they make their own butter and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, kind of learned the history of the Amish people. And then they showed us this little schoolhouse that they have. It's basically like a one little room place, one little room, very small little schoolhouse. Because I think the kids only go to school to they're like, I think they say like 14. And after they turn 14, that's it. They're out of school. I don't know how they get by doing that. I know they have their own community and their own rules and stuff, but I don't know how they can get away with just having their kids to go to school till they're 14. Because I think when you're 14, you're probably getting ready to go to the 9th grade or something, getting ready to get into high school. But after they turn 14, they basically come out of school and work the land and you know, work every day. And then I think they only go to school for a few months, because they said when it gets time to do the planning and the working in the field, that's it. So they only go to school for about 4 or 5 months, and then they have to come out and you know, and work in the fields and stuff. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how they able to get away with that. But hey, you know, that's what they do. And then we was noticing that none of the ladies and little girls had on shoes. They didn't have on any shoes at all. And I'm like, how do they walk around this hot ground with no shoes on? But they were saying that they don't wear shoes because of, I don't know. I don't even remember what it was, but it was something to do with their beliefs and stuff like that. So it was just crazy. It was interesting because, you know, I've seen the show they have on TV about Amish people and stuff like that. And, you know, of course, like I said, they have to marry within their community. They can marry from second cousins on. So they basically just marry family members, cousins. They can't marry their first cousin, but then they can marry their second, third, and fourth cousins and all that. And it's just crazy. And we was looking at the little kids. They were so cute. But they was just looking at us like we was crazy, you know, because I'm sure they see a lot of tourists coming into their community and, you know, buying products. They said they usually make, the Amish people usually make anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 a year. I'm like, how do you make $50,000 to $100,000 a year and they don't have to pay no taxes? There's no taxes coming out. How do they get away with that? When I was working and damn federal government made sure they taxed me, and if I owed Uncle Sam any money, they were gonna get their money back. So how are they able to do that? I don't understand. I didn't understand that. I was like, they gotta know, because they do have mail boxes. So they got to get mail. So the government got to know that this community exists, and they got to know that these people are making some type of money, you know, regardless of everything that they do, you know, on their own with growing their vegetables and making their different crafts and doing all that. They got to know they're bringing in some type of income. So how can they not have to pay any taxes on this income, or the government ain't saying anything to them or anything like that? And then their kids only go to school till they're 14 years old. I don't know. I was just curious. It was interesting. It was interesting to see, you know, they supposedly, you know, we didn't go into their homes or anything, but they don't have electricity, they don't have running water, which we did see one of the ladies pumping water, like out of a well. So, but we did see that they do have mailboxes, so they do get some type of mail. So I don't know. You know, they say they do pay taxes on their land. They did tell us that they have to pay taxes on their property and stuff. So it was just crazy. It was interesting. It was a lot. So if you ever up around that part of Tennessee, stop and check it out. It's very interesting. And I think they, you know, like I said, you can go and ride through there and see their community. You just can't take any pictures of them at all because they don't believe in it. So check it out. So that was fun. That was real fun. So that's what I did with the seniors on the mystery trip. Very nice. Very good. Had a great time with that. It was hot as hell out there, but we had a great time. Okay. All right. I done went over just a little bit, but I'm about to get up out of here. Hey guys, stay positive, be kind to everybody you come in contact with, and just have a great day. Get out there and enjoy your day. And if you're a senior and you like to travel, check out the senior center. I think they call it now Studio 60. Check it out and go on some of their trips. They're very good. And the director that plans these trips is very organized, and you'll definitely enjoy it and also learn something and get some history, okay? All right, guys, I'm gonna check you out next time around.